Alright, so for this reaction, it's going to be balancing in basic solution, and I'm going to leave the phases out for this one. It's much easier without the phases. So we're going to have silver, which is a solid. You put that in a solution with cyanide and a little oxygen. And then there's a complex ion that forms. It's the silver cyanide complex ion that we studied, and some water is formed. And we want to look at this in basic solution. Okay, so of course we're going to break into half reactions. It's our first step. So half reactions, and then we want to look at mass balance. Okay, and then we can write silver forms silver cyanide complex ion. And then for the mass balance, you want to put the cyanide in here. Okay, and then the second half reaction will be oxygen forming water. Now, the other part of the mass balance is that there are two cyanides on the right-hand side and only one on the left. So we want to put a 2 in here to balance the cyanides. The silver is fine. The second half reaction, there is nothing other than hydrogen and oxygen, so that part is done. Okay, I'm going to shrink that down. And then rewrite it for the second step. We're going to balance oxygen by adding water. Okay, to the side that needs it. So we've got silver plus 2 cyanides forms silver cyanide complex ion, and then oxygen forms water, and there is no oxygen in the top half reaction. In the bottom half reaction, there's 2 oxygens on the left, 1 on the right, so we're going to add an additional water to the right hand side, making that 2 waters. Alright, and then step 3, we're going to balance hydrogen by adding H plus to the side that needs it. So we've got silver plus 2 cyanides forms silver cyanide complex ion, and then oxygen forms 2 waters. So here we've got 4 hydrogens on the right of the second half reaction. We're going to add 4 H plus to the left hand side. Okay, the next step, excuse me, the next step is going to be to add electrons in order to balance the charge, and we rewrite the reaction. Excuse me. 2 cyanides, silver cyanide complex ion 4H plus plus oxygen forms 2 waters. Okay, here's the tricky part. We have 2 negative on the left and 1 negative on the right, so we're going to add an electron to the right. Lower one, we've got 4 positives. We're going to add 4 negative electrons to the left. All right, so shrink that one down. I'm going to shrink them all down. This one's long. Okay, we're going to add it together. Actually, before we do that, we're going to multiply the top half reaction times 4, the bottom half reaction times 1, and then rewrite that. So we have 4 silver, 8 cyanides forms 4 silver cyanide complex ion plus 4 electrons, and then 4 electrons plus 4 H plus oxygen forms 2 H2O. And then we're going to add them together, and the electrons are going to cancel. That's our goal there. So 4 silvers, 8 cyanides, 4H plus O2 forms 4 silver cyanide complex ion plus 2 H2O. Oops. All right, let's do the count. See if we got this right. Silver, carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, and charge. So there are 4 silvers on each side, 8 carbons on each side, 8 nitrogens on each side, 4 hydrogens on each side, and 2 oxygens. Charge on the left is 8 negative and 4 positive, so it's -4. And on the right hand side it is 4 negatives as well, so it's -4. Okay, that's the acid part. Now, so we've balanced it as if it were an acid solution. Now we're going to continue and do the last steps. We'll write the reaction on the top. So it'll be 4 silver, 8 cyanide, 4H plus O2 forms 4 silver cyanide. There's a negative up there in the corner you can't see, and then plus 2 waters. We need to know that negative is up there. Let's see if I can put it in red there so you can see it. Okay, and then actually I'm going to change that. I want to make it all in one line. Okay, so that's negative right there. And then it's 2 waters. Alright, so the first step then is to get rid of the H pluses. So we're going to add 4 OH minus to the left because we're going to combine it with the 4 H pluses to form 4 waters. Okay, and then if we've added 4 OHs to the left, we have to add 4 OH minuses to the right. Alright, the next step is to rewrite that out. And you're going to have 4 silver, 8 cyanide, 4 waters, oxygen, more, forms 4 silver, cyanide, complex ion, plus 2 waters, plus 4 hydroxides. Okay, the next step is to cancel any excess water. So that's going to be 2 there, and anything else that's excess, lots of times there's hydroxides that cancel. In this case, it doesn't look like it. Alright, and then we're going to write it again. So we have 4 silvers, 8 cyanide, 2 water, plus oxygen, forms 4 silver, cyanide, complex ion, and 4 hydroxides. Alright, and then that is going to be your answer. Again, you want to check and make sure everything's balanced. So you get silver, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, and the charge. So you have 4 silvers on both sides, 8 carbons on both sides, 8 nitrogens. There are 4 oxygens on each side, 4 hydrogens on each side, and then the charge on the left hand side is going to be 8 negative, and on the right hand side it's 8 negative as well. Alright, so then this is the final answer. Notice that you have hydroxide now in the reaction. This is basic solution. Lots of times you'll see the hydroxide on the left hand side, but in this particular reaction you see it on the lots of times you see it on the left, but in this one you see it on the right. So lots of times you see it on the left. Okay, let me squish that down a little bit. So I don't know if I can do that. I don't think I can. Nope, I'm not going to be able to do that. Alright, I think we got one more example.